All right, so behind me is my 1971 Ford F100 with over 500 horsepower that we've spent the last 8 years on this channel building, perfecting, and crafting. And the one thing that I've realized time and time again is that I've kind of set a trend in my own friend group. One guy has it, sees it, buys one, another guy does, and another guy. It's probably very similar to your own friend group. Everybody tries to have similar vehicles or similar tastes and interests, and that's no different here. Scumbagging friends into buying vehicles that they'll probably never work out is one of our favorite things to do, and that's how we ended up with this. Like we were saying, scumbagging your friends is probably one of my favorite things to do with trucks like this, and that's no different with Chris's truck. So our buddy Dave had this truck, sent it to Chris, said he was gonna buy it, and was like, you know what, got cold feet. Kind of pulled back for a second, and then from there everything changed. So how'd you actually end up with this thing?
So I got pictures from Dave, and he's like, you gotta buy this truck, you gotta buy this truck. And I look at it, I'm like, what? No, I'm not buying this truck. And so I sent you the pictures. We went back and forth. You said it was a good truck. I really did get cold feet. I told the guy, no, I don't want it. And then 2 weeks later, I was like, yes, I want it. And then it came like this. I mean, I had it within a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, it showed up. And then I'll insert the clip right now when he got this thing. It was pretty crazy seeing it show up. And we were pushing Chris to the back of the shop when the trailer showed up. He wasn't allowed to see it. And I was like, no, you stay inside. And it's like pulls up, backs in. And I have the camera and I'm like showing it on his face when he walks out the door. He's all like trying to see over all Dave's crew cabs because he's got all those out front and trying to see the truck when it pulled up.
That looked pretty good, that color. Yeah.
Goes straight for the rust spots. What a guy, what a car guy. This thing's legit.
What's up, brother?
Are you content?
The frame's pretty rusty, but yeah, it's thing's crazy.
The frame is not rusty, though.
His version of rust means it's brown.
Hey.
Are you content?
Mm-hmm. 250 so I can take it to the scrapyard.
Oh, is the floor all whacked? Oh yeah, dude, you can see it.
Throw it away, dude. I'll buy it. I'll buy it for you for $2,500.
It's a nice truck.
I was freaked out in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie. I saw it. I bought a '63 Comet about 4 years ago, and it never looked like this. But you know, the good thing is you have good friends that know how to do good things, and so this is where we're at right now. I can't stop thinking about it. I cannot wait for it to run. So
this is gonna be a lot of fun. So we're gonna dive into this build and show you guys actually what this truck is, because it's not just a '67 short bed. There's a lot more special things about it. So let's dive into it. Before we get started in today's video, I want to let you guys know we have a Black Friday drop right now. As you can see, we have the Las Vegas hoodie now on this. This design came out absolutely awesome. Have it on the back. It's exactly the same design that we did on the t-shirt. We saw it was getting cold. None of you guys would like the hoodies in the previous generations, so we wanted to do this drop on a hoodie for you guys. We have this in the tees as well as the hoodies. We have a bunch of new colorways. We've never ever done different colorways and brand logo tees on the website before. Something we wanted to do and brought back for you guys for Black Friday. So on the time of this upload, you can go down the description of this video. Check out 9SB Company. We have a brand new website. Never changed that in 4 years. Everything's been fully revamped. Tons of stuff, tons of colorways, tons of sizes. We have a bunch of badass stuff. You guys can check that out down in the description. Grab yourself something for Christmas or pick up do some Christmas shopping while you're there. It means a lot. It means the world to me that you guys are supporting us. It allows us to do some badass stuff. So I'll have a link down in the description as well as the Tom Pegg comment. Head down in the description, check that stuff out for yourself. And let's get into today's video. It's a good one. Pop the hood. Let's see what you got for this massive powerhouse. Damn, dude. It's one of them Lamborghinis, front Flintstones. So what was this? Was a 240, right?
240 straight six. It had a crazy 4-speed transmission with the granny first.
Yeah.
411 rear end.
Cool, but it's also, I think it's kind of, I'm piecing the whole thing together and it's kind of making sense because there's text on it and you can see this is definitely the original color. So there's not a paint code for this truck on the VIN number. That was the one thing we pointed out. So you're pretty sure it was a San Jose truck. We don't know where it was stationed at or where it lived at its whole life, probably in Redding.
Yeah.
Pretty sure this was a factory forestry truck for Redding, California, somewhere in California, because it was built in San Jose, so it stayed somewhere on the West Coast for pretty much the remainder of its entire life. And being how rust-free it is, it probably didn't live in Washington.
I love that you say that this is rust-free, but
it is.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, there's a difference between like surface rust and like rot. You know what I mean?
The telltale of this is I think that they were using it to haul wood in, because we found a cable in the back that's like a cinch cable. It was shoved behind the gas tank. We also know, you know, with the inline six, the 4-speed granny, and the 411, hell, they might have been pulling trees out with that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's so wild to me. Like the one thing that I kept pointing out is like forestry trucks you would think would be like my crew cab was a government issue truck, but it was white. And I haven't got a Marty report or dove into that truck really that much. And that truck might be an airport truck, you know, school district, whatever, because it's white. But this one obviously is forestry, but a short bed 2-wheel drive truck, not a high boy and not a long bed. So it was something, not even a 250 at that, it's a 100 with a little baby 240 in it and a 4-speed. So obviously the 411 rear end and the 4-speed would make sense, you know, if it's in the woods, but just the way that it's optioned is a little bit interesting to me. So I'm very curious in, you know, the history of this truck and kind of where it came from. But you can see the 102 on the firewalls right there, as well as the hood. So all these panels are correctly tagged, and I'm sure as we go through this truck you'll find more about it. But it's a relatively straight truck. Not really sure. I think obviously, as you can see, the one telltale sign, the negative about it is it did have a fire. So we'll talk about that in a second. But that's really, I think, what sparred its restoration, or how it was Danny that had it.
Danny had it up in Reading.
He started a restoration, right? Or he was going to?
He really did not want to get rid of the truck.
Yeah.
And so Dave, of course, you were just talking about scumbaggy people. Dave scumbagged him into selling it to me. And then when I was like, no, I don't want it, Dave was like, oh, no, you got to have it. And so here we're at. And yes, we pulled the windshield out of it. It was completely shattered, but it looked like there was a fire underneath it, and I think that this was the culprit. This was a switch, and I don't know if it ran the lights on top or what, but this is what burned up that caught the stuff underneath on fire, and then that's all she wrote.
Yeah, and that's an aftermarket switch. You can just tell by this is one of those old cheap metal switches. So someone thought they were an electrician and bamboozled this thing into a ball of flames. And it's really unfortunate because you can see the top of this thing has some heat marks from it. And then the worst spot is obviously the roof area. And the one thing we noticed also, if you open the doors on this truck, not so bad on this side, but you can see, I'll overlay a shot, you can actually see some of the black soot from when this thing was on fire. And it probably will come off, but this is basically because the windows were up. So all the glass got trashed. You can see the dash is pretty roached. All that black soot kind of sat on everything. It really made this like kind of tar, like marked up, and really stained everything pretty bad. But definitely can get cleaned up. But overall, I mean, this thing is like incredibly straight. And the other thing I was talking about for weird options, it's a custom cab. Forestry, government, like truck that goes out in the woods and gets beat on it, it's a custom cab. Like the options for me are just crazy. So definitely an interesting truck. Definitely want to get a Marty report on this thing if I can. I think 67 is the first year we can get a Marty on this truck.
You can.
Yeah, so we want to see actually kind of a little bit more about it. And if you guys know anything about this truck or anything like these trucks up in Redding, California or Northern California area or anything on the West Coast, let me know. Always curious about this stuff. If you have your grandfather drove one a million years ago, let us know. This thing's in super good shape. So you can see metal door cards, 67 only, would have had the door latch and the window crank. You can see how it's obviously the window crank. These are in super good shape. Out of the realm that we're going here, what is this and what are we actually doing with it? So it's full of crap, it's gutted, fire damage, tons of stuff needs to be fixed, but at the end of the day, very rare truck and a very straight truck, and well, straight given what's actually here. But it's actually a rust-free truck for the most part. There's a couple things, like I noticed the bed floor is pretty trash, but like he was saying, it was a logging truck. That was the last I think you were talking about, right?
Yeah, that's it. It's just like a cincher.
So that you would have looped around on like a pile of logs and it would have built the drag behind the truck or whatever.
And Ethan was extremely excited to see this. He wants it for his highboy.
Well, it's proper fitting in that. So Ethan has that sea pine green bump side highboy. Yeah, that's very like forestry truck aesthetic. So this was a high hump, 4-speed, and this was an MP. So I was very curious because it's a 240, not a 300. The later trucks were 300s. The earlier ones are 240s, and it had an MP 435. At least that's exactly what it looked like. I didn't run the casting number on it to see what kind it was or whatever, but essentially that style 4-speed manual. That in a 100 is fairly rare to begin with, unless you had an FE or a big block. Most of the 300 trucks that I've seen, as well as the 302, like my truck as a 302 was a 3-speed, so it was a 3 on the column, which is what most of them were. So if you had a short bed truck with a factory floor shifted 4-speed that wasn't a big block, even though it's more base model, it's definitely rare. You don't see it very often. And then that in line with it being a custom cab with the custom paint, very, very interesting truck. So I'm already like nerding out on the truck a bunch, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So what we're actually doing with this thing, like I said, scumbagged friends into projects, I would say I may have rubbed off a little bit on you with the small block short bed thing.
For the last 5 years, the only thing I've ever wanted is a truck. I got a 63 Comet, we worked on that, and I drove it, and I'm happy with it. But yeah, there's just something about his truck, just the sound of it, the power of it. And then I drove it one night coming home from cruising Grand, and that was it. After that, I was looking for one. So
not a bad influence at all. One of the difference that we're going to be doing is we're going to be kind of documenting this entire build step by step. So essentially, instead of taking 8 years to build my truck, we're going to take it down a notch. It's not necessarily going to have to make over 500, 600, 700 horsepower. Not something that'll you'll kill yourself in. Something proper, something you could daily drive. Like essentially, if you took my truck and toned it down to something that could be daily driven, still sounds bitchin', it drives really nice. How can we build that in a fairly fast time frame? That's what we're doing with this truck. So we're going to go through the motor build, all the parts, all the pieces to basically make like Quake Jr. but like cooler because of the forestry and everything. I wish I had this paint and patina and this style and story and history and everything on my truck. Kind of create something one-off. So a bunch of things we're going to do differently on this truck compared to mine. Suspension will be different, drivetrain will be different, interior will be different. Obviously 67, the body style is a little bit different. There's a lot of stuff to go through. So we got some parts inside that we'll showcase and kind of give you guys a little plan layout. But it's going to be a fun truck, and then we're going to get to work because we need to get this stuff done.
Man, we're diving right into it, dude.
We sent it to Ethan and he was just like, you could run it, but it may smoke.
So this is going to be the new LS motor, huh?
No, LS, no. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
My name is not Nick Lang.
Oh, roasted.
Hey, there we go. It's got a new high volume in it. Look at that. So the Melling 68s are the standard oil pump that people put in these, but the HV is the high volume. This has the Gabagoop. Oh, look, they filled the dipstick hole in. That's real nice. No dipstick, no problem. D1. It's got D1 rods in it. That's interesting. And this is a, what was the casting on the block? I think it said it right there. Yeah, E5. It's an 85. It's a roller motor. It's definitely been rebuilt because it's got 71 rods in it. That's funny.
You can save this.
Yeah, we can reuse that. It's gonna be Chris's first motor build. I'm so excited. So give her.
Tap it when I.
Other way.
No, the
on the side.
Yeah.
Here, just
But hold it so it doesn't fly off. Just so put your hand above it so it doesn't go flying. Hit right there, kind of up a little bit, like kind of knock it out of it. It's in a slot. There you go. There you go. Pop it straight up. It's not horrible. It's definitely got some hot spots. So no copper, but it's definitely tight right there. Yeah. So
What, carbon
if
scoring?
I remember right, the front, the rear is the last one to get oil because the pump's in the front. I believe it's either that way or the other way around. So this should be the worst bearing in the whole thing. Should be the rear. So if we go to if we did the front one, then yeah, these should look better as it goes forward. We got to take this off either way. We can take the pump off and then we'll check all the bearings and see kind of where we're at. But this should be a nice, good proper setup to make big power. Once you put a supercharger and a blower and nitrous on it, it's gonna rip, dude. Yeah, so it's a little better. But it's still got hot spots for whatever reason. It's like it's not... Yeah, that would have had issues over time. I don't think that... You can actually see parts of copper come through there. Like when the light hits it just right, it's copper right there. So I don't know why it has hot spots on it. It's a little bit concerning, but...
Nothing Ethan can't fix.
Well, yeah, but it might need a line bore if the crank isn't set straight. So that's the only concerning part. But why to block this new need that? Maybe they weren't torqued correctly. But the one thing we'll do is when we bring this to Ethan, we'll check the main bearing clearance and the rod bearing clearance. So we'll take a caliper and we'll measure bearing journal size on the crankshaft. We'll go ahead and torque everything down with bearings in it and take a bore gauge and measure the inside clearancing of the journal caps. You take those two numbers, subtract them, and that gives you your bearing clearance. People use plastic gauge. Plastic gauge sucks because if anything moves when you're torquing it, it'll smear the plastic gauge and give you an inaccurate reading. Bore gauges don't lie. Calipers don't lie, so use good tools. All right, so rod bearing status. Mind you, we don't know a lot about this motor.
We knew one thing. It's free.
Yeah, you got what you paid for. See, but they all have these freaking hot spots. I don't know why. It tells me it's not. It's either over torqued or not torqued correctly, or it's hard to see. Or the bearing clearance was too tight.
We do know that this was rebuilt
Yes, very much so.
because it's 20 over. So
Okay, well, I mean, it's not roasted, obviously. It would have ran, but who knows how long it would have ran. So we're going to fix this and go ahead and get everything apart and order our sweet stroker kit. Yeah! No, I'm just playing. It's going to stay at 302.
Oh, wow.
Yeah!
What's happening? Oh, what's that?
You told me to pick up the truck.
Oh, my God.
What'd I do?
The tire was off the ground.
It was way off the ground.
Said pick up the truck, dude.
Okay, welcome morning to Bryce Cold back on the channel lifting up the damn truck. What a welcome to the video. It just picks up Chris's truck. Like, what the fuck? That was impressive. I am very impressed. I don't think I could do that.
Yes, you could.
I would blow my back out. His truck would blow my back out.
Hit Craig. You heard him.
Yeah, hit me. Keep going.
Well, it'll just hit the curb.
Oh, Jacob. We didn't actually need to take that one out. No big deal. It's easy. Okay. All right, here we go again. So now what?
I'm gonna go put this in my
I know anyone that's taking one of those damn hoods off is just like jaws on the floor watching you just run down the freaking.
It's not even that heavy.
Yeah, well, when you're literally built like the Hulk, nothing's heavy.
Part where I just use my brain and just point at things and things come apart, and I don't have to actually do it because I'm camera guy and knowledge guy, not actual mechanic here.
That's what it's like being a dad.
There you go, very nice. My very supreme body hammer. This went over, this whole grill slid over, the fender popped out, buckled here, and I buckled it right here. So I'm gonna make that Dave's problem and I'll let him fix that. You can't even hear the teeth engaging. All you hear is barely, it was working. Oh yeah, look at all the dirt come out of it on the bottom. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, that was the other thing I noticed. I was on the plate, it's been sitting since 02. So I want to say it probably lit on fire in 02. I don't really know, we don't have a lot of information on that, but plate last registered 02, 22 years it's been sitting, and gonna be back on the road in less than 23. One day. It's one of them ratchets that hits neutral a lot. Damn. That would have sucked if I did all that work. It's not even moving. Oh, we hit neutral again. Oh, we're back in gear. Let's kick. Oh, neutral one more time. Come on, kid, stay in gear. This is doing no mercy reversies right now, and it's really irritating me. There we go.
Yo, yeah, perfect. Yeah, I'll take that.
Hi.
What the hell is even that?
Literally had this the whole time.
Don't need that anymore.
You had that much more threads to go?
Pretty much.
Dude, we would have been here until like 9 o'clock at night.
That is all we need.
Come up right up here.
She's a little loosey-goosey now. Hey, when you see your friends struggle with manual tools and you have power tools, let them struggle. Be a man. I forgot that at the time of this video, it's Black Friday today. So Sunday, when you guys are watching this, day before Cyber Monday, we will be having a website sale on the website. I haven't figured out the exact terminology. I'll put it on the screen of what we're doing, 10, 20, 50 million% off. I don't know what we're doing yet. Go check it out. We have all new merchandise drop with different designs, colorways, all sorts of cool stuff. We've never done this big of a drop before. Really, really proud of it. Head down in the description, support me in the builds. Let's keep cracking.
Yeah, the hammer is a paid actor. Looks great from this height. Now you get underneath there and see all the stuff you missed when you're on your back. It's all weird.
It's like, damn, I didn't even think about that.
Very nice.
Dude, that's a nice fender. Look at that.
Bet you can't work the bodywork and paint all this?
I have to do that?
Dang, even the cowl's like nice. Mine's all rotted out right here. I have a big hole on mine.
This doesn't.
Yeah, it's all gotta get seam sealed. Everyone's like, no, you're ruining the original seam sealer. Oh my god.
It's okay, Ethan.
Damn, he's up for blood today. Yeah, there you go.
Ethan, do you want this for your 4-wheel drive party?
Hey, it's ready for the jamboree, bro.
I just want to make sure everybody knows that this is not rust. This is not rust. I think the thing was parked under a tree, and I'm pretty sure that this all caught fire.
Yeah, it did.
And it's leaves and everything else.
Now you're wearing it. Wow, you wore the right shoes to be working on trucks today, dude. You got the Mopar brain working on the Ford.
I don't know what this thing is, honestly. It's just
See, these
alien to me. I don't know.
from Mopar to Ford, these are Legos you played with Mega Bloks as a kid.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
That's the comparison.
I actually play with mayonnaise.
Oh my god.
Freaking swivel.
Oh, it's like non-dominant hand, one-handing. It's like, gotta look strong.
I will not be defeated by rusty bolt. My gosh.
Why do you just twist the socket? You didn't even need the ratchet.
He's gonna smoosh it. Oh,
Are they in there? Hello?
oh yeah, they are. Comfy in there?
Yeah.
Truck jail.
Truck jail.
This thing would look pretty sweet as a pre-runner, dude. Make sure you don't scratch it.
That's patina.
I'm adding patina.
Dude, the J clip's already, the bolt's not even in there. It's already off, dude. You take this bolt out right here, underneath, and then the drill will come off.
What about over here though?
Is that how it's done?
It's only gonna get seen by 60 to 70,000 people.
60 to 70, you're
This is
optimistic.
gonna be viewed by 1 million people.
Just to watch you do what you're doing.
Buy at 909 Ski Shop.
Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, do what the Stancy Pants says. I got it. I did all the heavy lifting around here. I'm Bryce Cold. I work on A bodies, B bodies, C bodies, and D bodies.
Hi, I'm Craig. Welcome back where we talk about trucks. This is a dent side, a bump side, a rust side, a hog nose, a pig nose, a bull nose, a who nose. That's nice.
So like, make sure to get all the seams together.
Look at this.
Is there more poopy in there? Did you stick your finger in the hole too?
Dirt everywhere. This one I cleaned out. There's just weight. There's
Gun me.
a ton of dirt down here.
Yeah, but you notice there's no rot anywhere. That's still the part that's like crazy about the whole thing. Is it's so like the paint is still perfect. We could polish this part of the truck for no reason. There's no. Usually this is all rotted out on these trucks. I mean, down here is where all the dirt would sit, and it would rot out in there. Like it's just dry dust. Very dry. Not moist in there at all. Got my funny bone! Ow!
Did you see how close that saw blade was to my face?
Nope.
Dude.
Drop it. Funny thing is that's not even remotely all of it. Yeah, and it just keeps on going. Well, now at least you get to see how rusty of a truck you bought, and I'd say if you had any worry in the world, it's gone now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm stoked. I mean, a couple of these, but I mean, this all looks.
Dude, but there's no holes anywhere. Like
That's
it's
the beautiful thing.
Everybody on the East Coast is like screaming at their TV right now because they're like, that is the nicest truck like you could have ever purchased.
This almost looks like we sanded it nice.
I know, it's so nice. Like in terms of metalwork, there's like not really any work that actually has to be done. We just gotta prep a couple things and just reshoot it. Yeah, this thing looks freaking rad. The funny thing is we noticed the brakes actually do work, which is cool. So if you like stand on them, they do work. But everything else is very nice. The cab mounts are good. Like floor pans are really good. Like you just don't see this kind of stuff on these trucks. Up in Redding is Northern California. It's a very dry area. Just before you get into Oregon and Washington, that's where it's more wet. Redding is fairly dry. It's fairly hot. So if that is where this truck lived, then that would make sense. So definitely looks pretty damn good. So very satisfied with that. So what we can look for in the next set of videos of this thing is actually diving in a little bit to more tear down. We're gonna pull the cab off, get this thing all the way disassembled. I'll get the bed off and start working on the chassis. Got some chassis components we're gonna be changing, some suspension components we're gonna be changing, and we'll be able to dive into the motor on this thing. So I'm gonna kind of give a full build breakdown on the engine of this thing. I figured you guys would enjoy a proper series on building another small block on this channel because we haven't done one in a while. The last motor I think I built on the channel other than my F100s was the Fox bodies over a year ago. And I feel like these budget, like small blocks will do everything down to the numbers and fine details on how much it costs, all of the parts, all of the machine work, what it would cost to build roughly about a 400 horse 302 like small block with a 5-speed setup and put it in an F100 and do a good suspension setup at the same time. So we're not trying to spend $30, $40, $50,000 here. It'll be a lot cheaper, a lot more grassroots, but it'll be very nice. We're gonna show you how to do stuff really nice for not a lot of money. So that's really what we like to do here. So hope you guys wanted to enjoy today's video. I had a ton of fun filming it. You guys had fun today.
Thank you, bro.
Hell yeah. You guys had a hell of a lot of fun today. But yeah, we got another F100 on the channel, so it should be pretty fun. Don't forget to grab your merchandise down in the description of this video, 909speedcompany.com, Black Friday sale, Cyber Monday sale, check that stuff out, and we'll see you guys in the next video with Lucky Bill. I don't know, leave some name suggestions down below. Forestry, Lucky, Fire, all those things. It did light on fire. Let me know down in the comments below, but I'll see you guys.
Hi, I'm Craig. Welcome back to the No, that's not right. No, you're Craig. Oh, finally.